Whether you struggle with anxiety now or used to struggle with anxiety, I can almost guarantee that you are guilty of the topic that we are going to discuss today. I definitely was when I was struggling with anxiety, and that is using Dr. Google. Hello, and welcome to the Living My 2.0 YouTube channel. My name is Julia, and I'm a happiness mindset coach, and I help women who are struggling with anxiety and negative thinking overcome that so they can live happier, better, more fulfilling lives. So if you currently struggle with anxiety or have ever struggled with anxiety, I'm sure you can relate to Googling all of your symptoms to try to find relief. And even though this seems like it could be helpful because knowledge is power, as someone who struggles with anxiety, it really causes a lot more anxiety and stress to Google your symptoms. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that, the anxiety loop that Googling your symptoms causes, and what to actually do about it. So I used to try to Google my symptoms all the time, not specifically for anxiety every time, but I used to have a lot of digestive issues. So I used to Google those constantly like crazy whenever I'd get in the mood to Google all the things that I was feeling because I just was so used to my body feeling bad all the time. Sometimes all of that pent up energy would just turn into having to turn to Google to try to find answers because I just felt so frustrated. I had gone to doctors for years with these same problems and they were never able to help me. So I really turned to Google for some of my answers. And let me tell you why that actually made my anxiety worse. So Googling your symptoms kind of is a slippery slope, and I would break it down into 3 different phases you go through when you turn to Dr. Google to try to figure out what's going on with your body. So number 1, you Google the symptoms. What this normally results in is getting a whole slew of answers with a lot of results of things that are very unlikely to be the actual issue that you're having, but there are really intense, serious problems that come up. So for example, if you are Googling that you have stomach issues and you're looking for answers, a lot of the time one of those top 10 results will say something along the lines of you have stomach cancer, or if you have migraines, you might read that you have a brain tumor. Like really, the internet is not the greatest place to try to find all those answers. Sometimes if you're looking at those top 10 search results, it'll start from saying anything from normal symptoms that a lot of people have to going to the worst case scenario. And if you struggle with anxiety, that could be a very slippery slope because reading about all those serious illnesses and starting to get in your head and overthink that you may have some of those serious illnesses or diseases will just make your anxiety worse. So step 2, once you Google all of the potential problems that you have and the symptoms that you have, you will start Googling how to fix it. And I know for me, when I used to Google how to fix the stomach problems that I was having, it would lead to hours and hours of searching and finding different resources and doing all this research. And it really just left me feeling even more anxious because I didn't know what solutions were the most helpful. I didn't know where to start. So you just start Googling for hours and hours and hours, and this can actually spike your anxiety, which eventually leads to step number 3 is you get too overwhelmed with all of the information overload and you just completely stop Googling the answers and the solutions and you just kind of break down because your anxiety gets to such a point where you just can't even handle looking at that information anymore. So these 3 steps, Googling your symptoms, Googling how to fix it, and then getting overwhelmed and stopping, this loop is something that I was stuck in for many, many years when it came to my stomach issues because I had dealt with those stomach issues for 15 years. So throughout that time span, I would get into these modes where my feelings and my symptoms would just get so bad that I would just turn to Dr. Google and do all the things. And like I explained, it could actually raise your anxiety even higher because even though all that information is out there and it could potentially be helpful, it actually kind of makes you feel more scared, more worried, more anxious. And what happens is you get into this decision paralysis mode and you're not able to take any action on any of the information that you look up because anxiety keeps you in a place of feeling scared and feeling afraid to take action. And you just feel like you're in this loop that you can't get out of. And that's really one of the biggest detrimental things about anxiety is that you could potentially be finding answers and finding solutions online for yourself, but your anxiety and your high stress levels just keep you in a state where you can't actually take action on the information that you find. So the solution I have for those of you who struggle with being Dr. Google and Googling all your symptoms is first, stop Googling your symptoms. If you're genuinely concerned about a certain symptom that you're having in your body, make sure that you go to a doctor or another health practitioner. I personally go to naturopathic doctors as well as regular doctors, so every kind of practitioner has different tools and resources, but make sure if you're actually feeling really concerned about a certain symptom that you seek help for it because getting in that cycle of just going through Dr. Google and, Googling all your symptoms and not really knowing what it means and getting stressed and overwhelmed, that's more detrimental to you than actually just going to a professional for help. So make sure that is your first stop. And in the case that going to a doctor doesn't really help you, from personal experience, I can say that going to the doctor for the digestive issues I had never actually led to a result, because I did try the prescribed medication that the doctors recommended and it never worked for me. So if you have seen doctors, tried medications, and it hasn't worked and that's your reality, I want to share something really important with you that it took me years and years to learn. So what I've learned is that anxiety is at the core of so many illnesses and so many symptoms that we feel within our body. And you can't fully, truly heal your body without working on your mindset and dealing with your anxiety. You can't fully heal your body with an extremely anxious mind. So in my opinion, that's why mindset work is so important, because whatever methodology of healing you decide to use, whether it's through medications or natural practices, whatever you try to do, you really have to consider that you have to do the mindset work as well. You have to start tackling that anxiety, because until you start getting control of anxiety, other physical symptoms will just continue to manifest into your life. So no matter what healing method you choose, remember to also focus on healing your mindset to fully heal your body. If you're looking for somewhere to start, I have a free mindset resource that I will link in the description below. And I also encourage you to sign up for the waitlist for my program that will be coming in June called Shift Your Mindset 101. And in this program, we will be tackling your mindset and anxiety in unison so that you can get the good results from actually doing the things that will lower your anxiety, and making sure that those things that you incorporate into your life will actually be long lasting, because we are also going to be working on your mindset. So what this program will help you do is to release yourself from the chains of anxiety and start empowering you to improve your life by improving your mindset, by working on the mind, body, spirit connection so that you can live a happier and healthier life. So if you're interested in the program, make sure to check this link in the description below, and there's more details there. Alright, so that's all for today's video. If you can relate to using Dr. Google yourself, make sure to leave a comment down below so we can have a conversation and let everybody else know that they are not alone. A lot of people are guilty of Googling their symptoms, so you are not alone. So make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so you never miss my weekly uploads. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!